Welcome back to Chronicles on the Focus, the podcast where we dive into the fascinating world of scientific phenomena and everyday mysteries. I'm your host, Bob, and today I'm joined by the ever so curious Alice. Alice, you ready to tackle a real head scratcher?
Absolutely, Bob. Bring it on. I love a good mystery that makes me go, huh?
Alright, get ready for the case of the rising Brazil nuts. You know how in a mixed bag of nuts, the big ol' Brazil nuts always end up on top? It's a classic phenomenon, but why does it happen?
Oh, you mean the Brazil nut effect. I've always wondered that. Is it just a matter of size? Do they have a secret superpower? They do seem to be a bit of a diva, always demanding to be the center of attention.
Haha, you're right, they are a bit high maintenance. But it turns out, the answer isn't as simple as just being the biggest and heaviest. It has to do with the way the particles interact in a granular material when it's shaken or vibrated. Think about it. Those smaller nuts can slip and slide around the larger ones, leaving the big guys on top.
That makes sense. It's kind of like a miniature avalanche, but instead of snow, it's tiny nuts. So, the Brazil nuts aren't actually rising, they're being left behind as the smaller nuts move down?
Exactly. And it gets even more interesting. Scientists have observed that the Brazil nut effect is actually related to a phenomenon called granular convection. Basically, the particles form these circulating patterns, kind of like currents in a fluid, and the larger particles get caught in the upward flow.
Wait, so it's not just a simple case of gravity, it's like a little micro-weather system happening inside my nut bowl? That's incredible.
You got it. It's like a mini earthquake happening in your snack bag. And this phenomenon isn't just confined to nuts. It's actually pretty important in various fields like manufacturing, geology, and even astronomy.
Wow, I never thought a simple snack bowl could hold such a fascinating story. So, what about manufacturing? How does this apply to making things?
Well, you know how some cereal boxes have those pesky raisins that end up on top? That's the Brazil nut effect at work again. Imagine you're mixing different types of grains or ingredients for a food product. You don't want them to separate and end up with a lopsided batch, right? So, understanding how the size and shape of particles influence their movement is crucial.
Makes sense. So, if I want a perfectly mixed bowl of cereal, maybe one should shake it instead of just pouring it?
Haha, you're onto something. But, you know, there's a lot more to this than just shaking a bowl. Think about it. This phenomenon can also help explain how stones appear on the surface of the Earth after freezing and thawing cycles, or how debris flows down a mountainside. It's even relevant to asteroids, which can be made up of a mixture of different particles.
Wow, Bob, that is mind-blowing. So, it's like a tiny little force that can shape the world around us. The Brazil nut effect, it's a true testament to how fascinating and interconnected the world really is.
You said it, Alice. So, the next time you see a Brazil nut sitting pretty at the top of a mix, remember that it's not just a coincidence. It's a story of granular convection and a micro-weather system happening right before your eyes.
I will, Bob. I'll be sure to tell all my friends about the Brazil nut effect. And who knows, maybe next time I'll try shaking my bowl of cereal to see if it makes a difference.
Sounds like a plan, Alice. Remember, it's those everyday mysteries that can lead to the most incredible discoveries. Thanks for joining me on Chronicles on the Focus.